Hi, I'm Helen.
Hi, I'm Mira.
Hi, I'm Daniel.
And we're Ladytron. We're at Amoeba for What's in My Bag.
I went straight for the African section, which is where a lot of music that I like kind of lives. This one is by an artist called William Onyeabor, who is a Nigerian artist about who not much is known because he just doesn't say much about himself. An album called Atomic Bomb, and it's the first record of his that I came across. It's incredibly funky, electronic record, and it's just like nothing else. And it falls under the guise of outsider music, which I tend to like, but I don't think it's right to call it outsider music. He very much knows what he's doing. He just hasn't had the industry around him his whole life. I have no idea where he gets his synths from. The percussion he uses is amazing as well. Yeah, he's a wizard.
Chosen Mezzanine by Massive Attack. It kind of played quite a big part in my life when I was at university. I think that's a lot to do with Elizabeth Fraser singing on it. It was like me and my bestie at university. I just used to stick this on all the time.
The first thing I found was this by Rogério, Duprat. He was a Brazilian composer, arranger, and he's kind of like the unsung sound of Tropicalia. All those amazing arrangements, all these incredible strings, all the kind of the electronic experimentation and everything. It was him. I only realized this relatively recently. I was listening to Construção by Chico Buarque. The strings on it just dive out at you, and it just kind of like, oh wait, is that the same guy who does all the others? So this is the first time I've seen one of his own records, actually, even though I live in Brazil.
You had to come all the way to Hollywood to find it.
It's always the way, yeah, go to the US, go to Japan to get Brazilian records.
I think you're kind of starting to look a little bit like him as well.
Yeah, I'm basically
kind of
modelling myself on him now.
A record called Trance by Neil Young. I was completely obsessed with Neil Young growing up, learned to play guitar, learned kind of his songs. On the Beach was my favourite record. And then I came across this and it was just completely otherworldly. It's his electronic record, which he made because he had an autistic son and he wanted to communicate with him, and this was kind of a way for him to kind of process how he communicates with his son. I think it really, really pissed off his record label and they ended up suing him because this is not what he was signed to do, really. His vocal through a vocoder is one of the most haunting kind of vocals that I've ever, because he just still really sounds like Neil Young. There's so much soul. It kind of encapsulates this thing of like, how do you put soul into electronic music? That guy managed to put a whole lot of soul into electronic music.
This is strange, I should change, I don't know, why don't you ask?
So this is Bobbie Gentry. I listen to Bobbie Gentry quite a lot because I have an old Jimny Jeep and it's got a CD player, and I can't get any radio stations in the car. So basically Bobbie Gentry is on there pretty much all the time.
I want your love. Say you're in love. love and I'll be your girl.
I've really got into her in the last few years, and I love the fact that so it's like country, but it's folk, but also she's for the time a little bit racy, a bit outspoken, I would say.
I absolutely love Bobbie Gentry as well.
Me
And I
too.
love Southern soul kind of country, like the Muscle Shoals sound and swamp country.
Yeah.
I'm staying in Brazil. I didn't get much further than the Brazilian section. This is Clube de Esquina, a record made in 1972, Milton, Nascimento and Borges, and it contains one of my favourite songs of all time in any genre, Tudo que você podia ser, anything that you can be.
Tudo que você podia ser.
This record, my friend described it to me, it was a bit older than me, and he said that in the 70s this was like a kind of melancholic indie record, how it fitted into things at the time. It sounds modernistic to me in a way, with the passing of time. I've actually, obviously these are not the artists, these are kids representing them, but I've met them both. I met Milton Nascimento. He was, it sounds preposterous, but he was meditating on a rock.
Oh, God.
And he just happened to be there. It's the closest point of Brazil to Angola, and he used to go there and meditate. Borges, I was at dinner with him, but I didn't know it was him because no one told me until he'd left. And I was like, but that's one of my favourite records. Why didn't anyone say? A bit of a name-droppy choice, but a genuine choice.
It really was. You were like, I went to dinner with him and I went to dinner with him.
I love the fact that you saw him meditating on a rock, that he always used to, you were walking and then there he was meditating on a rock.
These Brazilian artists, all of my encounters with Brazilian artists are like this.
Ainda moro nesta mesma rua, como vai você?
This is, I've never been able to pronounce this. The Mystère is the Voix Bulgari. In Bulgarian it's Triu Bulgarka. When I was a kid in Bulgaria, there was a whole lot of folk music, communist country, sort of celebrating sort of national stuff. And I was really averse to it, apart from the Bulgarian throat singers who recorded with Kate Bush. This was a record that 4AD put out. So this is kind of how they became famous. And then Kate Bush kind of, approached them and started recording with them.
You said, hey, I wish that was me out there. It's the biggest rocket I could find.
It is otherworldly and it gets used in scores a lot. I heard it last on
the Banshees of Inisherin.
The Banshees of Inisherin, yeah. It kind of opened up with a scene of, sort of Ireland and kind of fields. Then I was like, hang on a second. This kind of sounds a bit incongruous. It's really transcendent in every way.
Aren't they polyphonic? Can't they sing
They are,
polyphonically?
they're throat singers, so they harmonise with themselves. So they do this circular breathing where they basically can hold a note forever. They breathe whilst they keep singing. They're drones, and I really like drones. I think I'm really drawn to drones in music.
Something a bit more mainstream, Lana Del Rey, Ultraviolence. I like how she's navigated herself in the pop industry, and she doesn't really submit to the machine whilst she's still this epic giant pop star. She came out with her huge album which made her super famous, and then she just kind of went off and did whatever she wanted, really explored her voice. It's unlike most modern artists where it's all project and look what an amazing singer I am. I can hit all these notes, and she's just whatever. I would rather layer it and keep it soft, more like how I like to sing. This album is one of my favourites of hers. And I saw her in Glasgow and I took my dad. He's a massive Lana fan, basically because I've bought him all her albums.
So you won't believe this, but I've got another Brazilian record. And another name drop. So Gal Costa. So I picked out this record particularly. It was like a sort of mid-late 80s album. She was obviously came to prominence in the 60s. But it's got a song called Faca Profana, which was written by Caetano Veloso, like a lot of her earlier stuff. But the name drop is that she lived around the corner from me, and again, I didn't know it was her. I just saw this woman with like kind of big hair walking around, going to the supermarket, you know, getting picked up by Ubers and whatnot. And then my friend, he was the same thing. He actually lived in a building. He just realized one day that this woman he passed every day was Gal Costa. But you know, beyond my name drop, I played a lot of her 60s stuff in particular to my daughter when she was very young.
This is a movie called Stalker by probably my favorite director, Andrei Tarkovsky. It's a dystopian kind of sci-fi, the ultimate dystopian sci-fi film, and it's absolutely gorgeous. But what I really like about him is that he's got that very Eastern European sort of Russian poeticism about him. So even when he makes sci-fi, he just really makes it about memory and kind of uses it as a sort of device to kind of cut to what makes us human, and that's what all his films are, basically a reflection on kind of humanity and memory.
Repo Man, Alex Cox, the director, went to my school. So when I was at school, this came out then, and it was a kind of cult thing in my school. People were, you know, very into the idea of this cool underground hip director had gone there. And it was also very influential, you know, musically. You know, it's where we first heard Iggy Pop and things like that.
I was a teenage dinosaur, stoned and obsolete. I didn't get fucked and I didn't get kissed. I got so fucking pissed.
It's fair to say it's a cult film. Alex Cox used to present a show on the BBC, actually, on Friday nights. He used to present a cult film every week. It was called Movie Drome. It was very educational, kind of late 80s. We saw loads of things that way. Repo Man, some of Harry Dean Stanton's best one-liners in his whole career. Like one, he's driving along in his car and he looks out the window and goes,
"Look at those assholes over there. Ordinary fucking people, I hate them." See, an ordinary person spends his life avoiding tense situations. Repo Man spends his life getting into tense situations.
I think it's basically where I got my concept of what Los Angeles and California looked like. When I first arrived in LA like 26 years ago, this was basically what I expected to see.
It's way sunnier than that.
It's overcast, yeah, but it's also radioactive, highly radioactive.
We have collectively chosen Light and Magic by Ladytron. A lot of people don't know, but it was recorded here in LA.
It was like basically a pool house, wasn't it? The studio was a pool house.
We would go out and sit by the pool and sun ourselves and then go back and get back to work.
And we were out here for about a month or so, I think. Yeah. A lot of stories, a lot of name drops as well.
Yeah, we had a really fun night, the most Hollywood night that I've still had in my life ever, that I've kind of thought, this is it. You know, this is what my life's going to be like. Harvey Keitel at one table, you know, Owen Wilson at another. Who do I focus on? And yeah, Owen Wilson did try and kind of strike up a conversation. Yes. And I was like, I'm really sorry, it's just like Harvey Keitel's over there.
This was really lovely having you guys in today.
Cool.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thanks.